Hey guys, I feel the need to record something to show you something. Why? I don't even know. Probably it's an attention thing. So I recorded yesterday the like an information video about the new interface, and this is how the scene actually looks. And here's my 70 sol or inch screen. It's not very accurate, it's just estimated. It doesn't have to be perfect, because otherwise you get a little bit crazy if you are learning that whole nonsense. I think perfectness comes in the last steps. If you want to be super accurate in Blender, then I really think that comes in the end. It's the same thing like with the language. If you learn a language first, it's good to make sense, to be able to make a sentence which makes sense. And then if you are doing a good job, then you're gonna fix your grammar and other stuff, if possible. As good as you can. So that's how I actually work. I always do stuff inaccurate, and the better I become, the more accurate I can be. Okay, so I just had a need to show you that. Why? I do not know. Why do we do stuff like that? Because we want to show what we've done, I guess. So some of us at least. I like the weapon actually. The weapon is made very easy, and we can just pick it up. It's not perfect. Actually it's a one-piece thing. No, it's a two-piece thing. It's like you having the weapon itself, and this is basically just a part of the weapon, just modified. I made this to a wire. If we turn this off, you'll see how it looks with our. Oh, we can just disable this. So we disable the look, and you see it's basically a cutout of this part and modified to a wire so that it looks maybe better from the distance. Not if you take a closer look. I think this comes later, so I thought it looks cool. And the texture, you see there is some when we go into this menu. So this is actually a one-piece thing, but it's has a mirror modifier, which means if you want to make it symmetric looking, then it's good to use a modifier like a mirror modifier who mirrors your certain direction. In this case the Z direction. I think, yeah, it's a Z direction. So if we turn this off, you see the half of the thing is missing. This is my first weapon I created. It's very cool actually, because it makes really fun to do stuff like that. It was kind of strange, to be honest. And I like using nodes. If you can't follow me, don't worry. Also, it's not really a tutorial. I'm not explaining how I did this. I'm just showing you that. And if you know Blender, you may know what I've done. That's good, because I don't. So this is actually not used. This one here. This is just the way when I have like a node, a texture or something, a good example. Then what I like to do is basically just copy that and paste this onto another object. And then slightly modifying it, because it just saves you the work. Otherwise you have to go into this menu here, search what you want to have, which is also good. You should do this from time to time to remember how this works. And anyway, so where was I? So when we go to this menu, and then you see this is actually very interesting. So this just looks like it would have a depth or something. You see the white, the black things, but this is actually just it's called the bump modifier. It just kind of simulates the 3D version. I don't know how to describe that. It kind of simulates a 3D texture, which is good, because it's you don't have to really have a 3D modification, which means less polygons, which means it's more stable. That's, again, I'm still learning. I'm really at the beginning. Well, not not completely, but I still don't really know what to do, and I have a lot of aha moments still. So that means there is, how could I describe? Where would I be? Let's say you are an expert in Blender let's say 10 is being an expert in Blender, 0 is being a noob to Blender, then I think I'm between 3 and maybe on the way to 4. So that's what I would put myself right now, so that you understand how, yeah. So that is where I think I am, but I don't know. So that's, you know, it's also good. It doesn't really matter in the end. What I'm always like, when I learn stuff, I'm learning it like a child. So I never really know what I'm doing. I'm never really studying first and then doing the thing. I like doing it and then studying it, which is it's good for most of the things. Not in every. You couldn't do this in every profession. Like being a doctor is probably not a good idea to start first I want to do it and then later we gotta figure out how the body actually works. But in certain aspects it's very helpful. Yeah, and I want to show you this, hold on, shading. So, where is it? Here we go. Sorry guys, sometimes my brain is just, it stacks and then I don't know what I've done. So this one here is basically, you can see, changing the whole thing. And the way I do that is usually, I mean, if you want to be accurate, for example, you can just make sure that the part of, not the whole thing is covered with the same texture, because then you have the problem that you, it's hard to make, to get it right at every area. But you can tell Blender where you want to use this kind of texture. In this case, I was just lazy. I just wanted to get this done and have a, have a weapon on the desk. Okay, I'm interrupting a little bit. I have to drink a little bit of water. Okay, dokie. So I had a little bit of water with gas, so it's not good. If you drink coffee and you record and you talk a lot, it's incredible how fast you need some water. Anyway, so where was I? Yeah, the weapon. So I just wanted to create a weapon. I think for the first model it's pretty good. I can also show you if you guys want the progress of that. Because when I do that, where is it? Oh, hold on. Okay, so we are now on this menu where I constructed in an early version also that the tunnel why is the tunnel here? Exactly, this is a good example. I just copied it and pasted it into this scene so that I can copy and paste this whole thing. Because to me it's just so much easier. So anyway, here you see the weapon. It looks slightly different because I adjusted the texture and so on in the other scene. So that's also something what changes drastically depending on which thing you use, which render type you use. It looks different, and also the lighting is incredible. So this is something you kind of understand, and you can see here I made it smaller because I think we are pretty accurate. The desk scene is pretty accurate to the real world. So it's meter something like that. This guy here is a little bit too, it's a big guy. So yeah, you have seen this kind of version, and then you see that I'm really like, it's almost like you doing it. like not you doing it, not sexual. Like you yeah, how do I say that? Anyway, I can't think of the right word. But you start very basic. This just cubes, and then you extrude those stuff, and using a modifier helps. If you want to have like a little bit rounder and so on, then it makes sense to use a modifier, which we can turn off quickly by pressing this key, short key, or we just say subdivision surface. Is this the right thing? Yeah, it is. It's just, there is a shortcut for I'm using here like control and free, and this activates automatically this one here. And then you can set it to smooth, and then you have to work. If you work with that, you can make a round looking weapon but not too round, and then you make stuff like this here, which is at the beginning. If you see this the first time, it looks very weird, but after a while, you see that that's not that complicated, but you have to see it first, right? And it doesn't look very good, so we can just give him metallic look a little bit, just a little bit, so that it looks better. So, and yeah, this helps me often. I think I'm working. I need to see stuff very early. I think there are some people who have already a fixed idea, and they're doing it very well. And they don't even need to see it with the texture. I really need to see that. I need to it helps me to do the next step, to see what is what I want to do. And yeah, so and then you can make stuff like that. And this is how I actually work. I look how this looks. Do I like it? Then it's fine. And do I not like it? Then it's not fine. And so what also a good gadget is if you can get rid of this. So that's very helpful. There is a way to do, there is an undo button in Blender that's helpful, but it's also good to know how you can get rid of those stuff, because if you do this a little bit too often, you kind of confusing yourself. And it's good to see how you can do that. One thing I'm just try to understand is, let me just show you this here, let's just put, so if you see here a cube, that's giving a texture, because I really like that. It's just so much better. So you say you have here a cube, and one thing I kind of struggle with is to give later on buildings and so on, complex structures, a kind of not around the edge. So there are multiple approaches to do that. First of all, this one here, but this creates instantly more polygons, and you have to keep that in mind. Working with that is, to me, it's a little bit, it's easier to create something the less polygons it has, because you don't mess up other stuff. So afterwards, today I've seen there are different ways which I try I'm looking for a good way to do that with complex structures, not just a cube. So, and again, there are so many ways to do that, and there are also add-ons you can download. Blender comes already with a lot of add-ons, which I use when I know of them. What I don't like is downloading other external add-ons. They are fine, it's nothing wrong with that, but you have to check them first, of course. And I also want to understand the Blender itself first before I do the next step. So what I really like is just, okay, I need to understand how does this work. And if I play around with that and I understand, I'm getting bored of it, then I try the next step. What I can't do is be getting a lot of information and try to memorize all of that. It's just not possible. It's really step by step. I need to understand really step by step. So another way I've seen is we can make this smooth, then it looks strange. And today I've learned you can try to use the edge split modifier, then it looks better. But this is really new. I have to test this a little bit. Then we can activate a subdivision surface modifier. It looks strange, don't worry about that. We go to simple, and then you see it's a little bit like that. So it looks better. The edge is not too sharp anymore. Maybe it could work now with the edge split thing as well. Where is it again? Edge split. Maybe not like that. So we have this one, and we could actually use another subdivision surface modifier, and you see it's still the cube, and it has now nice looking round. Well, let's get rid of this thing here. That irritates me completely. Let's just hide it. Yeah, so that's one way to do that. I mean, there are different approaches to that. You can really, with the split modifier, I've seen something very interesting today, but I can't. I have to look it up again how this, how he described that to me. So we have, let's see what happens if you activate this again, and we have to see this in this menu. What does it do? Oh, it does do something. See, that's interesting. See, what happens if you put a solid modifier? About those modifiers is if they kind of, and that's weird to explain because people explain this sometimes in a Blender tutorial. They explained the modifier just to virtually present the cube in Blender without using using polygons, too many polygons. But I struggle with the word virtually or something, because I mean, aren't we already in a virtual environment? So that's kind of weird, but it's really like that. So the people not wrong. It's just hard to understand, and you only understand if you work with that. Then you understand what he just said, because he just said that in Blender, in a virtual environment, you're gonna go deeper in a virtual. Anyway, it's like Inception. It's crazy. But what it does, it's giving you the ability, the modifier, showing you the result, can be rendered as such. But as long as you're not applying any of them, you can always change the cube. If you would apply one of those modifiers, let's say the baddest one we could apply in this case is the subdivision modifier, I believe. If you do that, and you see it has now multiple, has just so much more polygons. I think every point is a polygon. That's bad, because Blender has to actually to calculate this, and it slows down the whole scene. I think it would be good, but it also, you know, makes everything just, again, this is the same looking cube, just with more polygons. And if we undo certain steps, then nothing happens, huh? Then wait, I'm waiting for the, here we go. Now you see it's the same, it's before we applied the subdivision modifier. So, and now you see we only have like I think 16. Let's see, does it say somewhere? It's 4 anyway, like polygons. Don't let me do math online when I talk to you guys. That's horrible. It's like when I was a child, like when I had to read to the whole class, you know. I'm not good at reading. I think my brain is not working proper. Not too bad. I get the job done with reading, but it's not my strength. It's not what I could, you know. Something, let's say, I will probably never become a narrator, you know, because I simply can't read that great. Maybe with practice, I don't know, could be, but it would take a lot of effort. Some people, that's a point. Some people could doing it without effort, you know. That's also something, I think what bothered me is if you do something without, which is very easy for you to do, you shouldn't really brag about that, because, you know, I mean, when it's that easy for you to do it, it's not really a challenge. I mean, is it? So it's good to have it, don't get me wrong, it's good to have strengths, but is it really something you can brag about that? I don't think so. Yeah, and you know, this is how I actually work when I do create something in Blender. That's the best thing ever, if I don't know what I'm doing. I love that. So, and then, yeah, what I could need in the other scene is, let me switch it back. Okay, so we are back in the other scene, slightly different. This is the tunnel screen. The other one was called something like I don't know, Doom, the template. Oh, I don't know. I don't remember. I have too many saves, backups. So yeah, so you see this is the tunnel, this is where we started with, and if we switch to this scene, wait, I have to turn on this guy. It looks slightly different, but this one is just faster. Then my idea is to create here something different. So I thought the scene is already good, maybe I can work a little bit more on that. I'm not sure if I keep working on that. I mean, right now, yes, for sure. But maybe I'm gonna, get an idea and do something completely different. What I wanna change is this here, because I think I made a mistake by. So here we have the problem that it looks pretty okay, but the edges are too sharp. And if I wanna change, oh hell, where I am? Oh, yeah. If I want to change that, the edges, to not make them too sharp because it just doesn't look good, then there are multiple ways to do that. But it's not because it's a whole piece. This guy here. That's also a thing I try to do. I try to not make too many small pieces. But you kind of have, so you have to have a good mixture, I guess. Or what do I know? That's what I think, at least. That's what I think right now. I think that's also funny when I really, right at the very beginning, I did just put one building on top of the other, one cube on top of the other, because that's how I think it's the best solution. And it was. If you learn, I think it's the easier, the much. When it's easy and fun, then it's the right way, no matter what people probably say, because that's what I've heard. I've also listened to another guy who isn't Blender expert. I don't know which one. There are so many of them. And he also said there are sometimes people who are overdoing it, who just want to brag about their skills and want to show what they can do, and they tell you what to do, and what you're doing is wrong. So you should sometimes not listen to people. But I think it depends. If somebody is very nice and trying to help you in a good way, that means first telling you or seeing what you've done, understand your view of things, and try or who tries to understand how you think, and then he says, okay, but this could be a little bit easier for you. So if somebody like constructive criticism or something is very helpful, but just people who say that's wrong, that is just I don't know. Who is listening to anybody? Who is actually listening to somebody who tells you are wrong? Are you really listening to that? I wouldn't. If somebody tells me I'm wrong, I'd say, okay, whatever, man. Leave me alone. But if somebody tells me, well, yeah, that I think that looks, I mean, how do I say that? If somebody really tries to see what you do, and really try, you can feel that somebody he wants to help you, not to make yourself small. Then that's the people you should listen to them. I have one friend, I mean, more, but one which I learned with him some a little bit of Japanese, not too much. I don't want to go into that too much. And he is one of those friends who are, on the one hand, very honest. I mean, all my friends are very honest, but at the same time, he has a lot of patience, and he will not judge you immediately. So telling the truth and at the same time not making you feel bad is extremely powerful and helpful, and will be remembered. So I don't know why I'm talking about this. This is not planned, this video is not planned. I just had a need to show you guys that. So there are multiple ways to do that, but I think I have to get rid of those stuff and make it different. Because if I, for example, say I'm gonna do it like this, because then you see what I'm doing. So we could make it like that. We have to activate smoothness. You see already the edges become a little bit better. Doesn't look too good actually. So we have to kind of see how we do that. Maybe with the solid, maybe with this guy. Yeah, you see, what I like is this one looks pretty well. Let me try to. Yeah, so this one looks actually already very good. This one here, but the rest doesn't. You know, it's strange. Oh, one modifier I forgot, edge split. Let's see if you can do something with that. If this changes anything. Oh wait, I forgot something. We have to. I've just seen this today in a video. So many good videos there. So this helps a little bit. So now you see this area looks good. Like if you go into different camera. So, and we just use that. And then it's only this area which I like. The rest is just yeah, not very good. And I think for that I just have to do this again. Just get rid of this. Oops, what am I doing? So just to this is just a test. This one piece I want to do it again. That means I'm gonna get rid of that and probably separate this stuff. Yeah, I guess so. Anyway, this is just not a big deal. I mean, the good thing is really it makes so much fun. It's incredible. Also, again, this one here, the floor, it's just this is a texture. It's not even a texture if I think about that. It's not even a texture. It's just, I mean, it kind of is. It's again the same. Hold on, I have to go. What I should do, I never do because I'm impatient. Name those stuff here, because the way how I figure out which texture is what is by getting rid of it. And then I see, oh, this is this one. I see. Not very. It's a little bit messed up. I think, though, this comes later when I know what I'm doing, because right now I'm still experimenting. Then I think this doing that is very important, but not at the beginning. When people say you have to do it, otherwise, well, no, you don't have to. Do what you want, I think, and if you feel good enough, then then try to do the professional way, or what people think is professional, whatever. But right now I play around with that. So this is just again the texture, and you can really, if you change this a little bit, that's so funny to me. That I love that so much. It's so yeah. See, now it looks like that. Is it better? I don't know. It's a taste thing. This is just a brick thing. If we make this too big, I think it starts to look like. Oh no, it doesn't, because we changed it in here. Let's go to 90, and it's gone. Wait. See, here we go. So this is a brick texture, and honestly, if I'm using that, the mapping and so on, I mean, I know what it stands for. But I still I catch myself, or it's still confusing because of the different different rotations. Thank you for telling me that, Blender, and locations you can do. Sometimes I have to change those numbers just to see where I stand, because I don't know. I have no. I can use it pretty good. I can make it look like that, but it's always kind of I'm experimenting until it looks like I think it should look. So that's what I try to say. I think if I keep doing it, I understand it in a natural way better. I think there must be an offset here, somewhere. This doesn't change anything. But right now, it's, here we go. And right now, it's just to, yeah, I try to make the bridge. I can't do it for some reason. Well, I think you see what I mean. I kind of understand it, but I'm getting so crazy on that in terms of What the heck do I do? I'm gonna show you what I mean. I wanted to show you this one because it actually looks like a stone wall. So if I do, wait a second, this one here, let's go into the edit mode. Let's activate this one here and let's assign this to that. Yeah, then if we change this now, is this the right thing? No. What have I done? Oh, it is the right thing, okay. So this one we're gonna assign, so this is now the same texture. And let's see, 90. Up. How did I do this yesterday? What have I done? Maybe I changed too many things. Like, you know what? Let's get the modifier again. The brick modifier. Let's just get rid of this guy and put this one in here. Ah, here we go. See, I just probably changed some of those values probably. And now, you know, this is basically the same. It's the same thing. It's just more stretched and changed so that it looks like, oh, it doesn't look like this anymore. I shouldn't save this now. Yeah, so that it looks like that. And this is how I actually work. Simply try and error. This one I think I did a good job because actually, I mean, this is just a copy if you want. It's copied. I have like one segment, which is the real segment. This is it's this one here. Also this area here, from here to that, and the rest is just copied with an array modifier, and that's how you can produce very nice science fiction tunnels. And yeah, this is something I really enjoy doing it, I have to say. Yeah. Yeah, I'm currently still working on my brother's house a little bit. And I say this sometimes. It's a lot of fun doing it. But the difference is, I think I'm really, if you would, what I've discovered is, it's good to do the proper work because it's also fun, but it's more satisfying to me to create new stuff instead of being extremely accurate, like building a house on something. So I think I would be better for creating nonsense, and then I would need other people who fix my errors. So, and because, you know, some people are working so precise, you know, like for I don't know, for 3D printing and so on, and that's incredible. And that is something you approach better slow. Or if I should do something like that, then practicing modeling the house is very helpful for me. But the house is meter and printing out stuff, you know, it's 10 millimeter, and that's very impressive actually, because it's, you think making a house is simple when you can make walls and so on, but and doors, but oh boy, that's more, there are more details than you would think on a fucking simple window. That's incredible. Anyway, so yeah, good. Again, I don't know why I'm actually, I mean, I showed this because I want to show this to somebody. It's not a, again, it's not a tutorial. Probably I said this, saying this in the end doesn't make much sense, right? I just wanted to show you guys that I'm working on something. Again, this might become something or not, but stuff like this I think I'm always gonna do. So yeah. Okay, did I forget something? Hey, you, what are you doing here? Yeah, this is the first thing. This is how the thing started. It's not the very first scene. I already deleted some first attempt things. But yeah. Oh, this is also fun. It's just a modifier with the wire modifier here. You see. And the reference I forgot is the Doom 3 and Quake 4 is what I try to stick to that a little bit. Okay, guys, so that's about it. Then I thank you for watching. If this maybe it was interesting, maybe not, but yeah, that's what I'm doing when I'm not playing games. Okay, guys, thanks for watching. Bye bye. Auf Wiedersehen.